Hey, it's Wally, and I just want to thank so many people, our potties, the people that listen to the radio station, for partnering together to make a difference in the lives of Ukrainian refugees. This thing over there is a mess. We're entering the 5th month of this, and it's just heartbreaking to see what people are going through and how they're having to live. But here's the upside. Together, we have sent more than 100,000 meals to Ukraine already. These meals are being distributed by 3,500 pastors who are risking their lives every day to minister to these families and get them the food that they need. So if you've given, thank you so much. Now, we're down to the last couple weeks of the month, and how cool would it be to up the ante here and send another 50,000 meals by the end of July? I know it sounds like a lot, but at 25 cents a meal, that's not a lot, and a little bit from each of us can go a long way. I know I've already done my part because I'm never going to ask you to do something I won't do, but think about it. $100 sends 400 meals, and then if you roll that out and do $500 or $1,000 gift, imagine the impact that you're having. So if you want to get involved, you've seen all the hardship and the heartache and thought, man, I wish there was something I could do. This is something you can do. Just join us by texting Wally to 91999. That's Wally to 91999. And the cool part of this is, man, you get to be the answer to a mom's prayer as she's wondering how she's going to feed her children. Again, text the word Wally to 91999. Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. You know the deal. All those things we did not get to during the course of the day today in the show. And sometimes things just happen. I just saw this. President Biden has COVID after all these years. He made it 2.5 years. And a lot of people are getting COVID right now. And I know there's a tendency, like say you were super right wing, a tendency to kind of laugh like, you got it, you know. And I understand that because he made such a big deal about the masks and things like that. And he would wear a mask when no one was even around him and on Zoom calls, and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But I think it was because he was trying to lead by example or what have you. So people debated all this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, he did all of the stuff right, in essence, and did he let his guard down and then get it? Or is just everyone eventually going to get this, you know? I tend to think you get the vaccine, you get the booster or whatever, and you tend to get lax. I know for me personally, before I was vaccinated and stuff, and this is not a vaccination endorsement, but I just chose to, and it's my choice, and deal with it. And if you don't want to get vaccinated, I don't care. But I found myself, before I was vaccinated, and I was super cautious, washing my hands, and I would be mindful of everything. And then I got two things. I got vaccinated, and we got further away from it. The variants got less severe, and I just wasn't as vigilant at all, you know. And I'm curious if that plays into why people are getting it's a more contagious variant, but why people are getting it now, because we have, at least in our area, it is life as usual. It's back to pre-pandemic normal. There's no COVID anything around us, you know.
But I would say that with this variant, we've definitely seen more cases in the office than the other kind of variants.
Because I don't want to see him be sick. I mean, I'm not a fan of his politically at all. I don't like the socialistic tendency that we're headed down personally, and the things that they are supporting. But I don't want to see when someone gets sick and die.
Right.
But some people, unfortunately, can't separate their politics from their humanity and would actually wish that, you know, or oh, you deserve it now. No, I don't think anybody does it, but it does cause fear for some people when you look at it, not necessarily politically, but if you look at it just practically. He's older. He'll get the best care, you know, better care than any of us. He'll get the Area 51 UFO care. They have some cure for this already. They just won't tell us. But he's older and he has underlying health issues, and it could be serious for him. It could turn really serious for him. So the fear is if he were to pass away, Kamala, and that is next level terrifying for Republicans. And then Gavin Newsom, who has been playing to the extreme left, he's the governor of California. That guy, he wants to be up in the big show. He wants to go from California to the White House, and so he is. I think he's in the wings, and so obviously I don't want.
We don't want to start on a what if tangent.
I know. But what ifs are how you're prepared. What if I run into a bear in the woods, but I have bear spray? You're prepared. You got a plan. See? Boy Scouts, they plan for things. So while other people call it conspiracy minded, some people it's like, I'm just planning ahead. So anyway, but that, I do hope that he's not going to be seriously ill, because that's not good for anybody. Okay, so if you are traveling, I found this thing because I'm flying in like 2.5 weeks, and I'm so scared to fly. Not because I'm scared of flying, but because I think I'm carrying on. I'm not taking a chance on my luggage getting lost again. But I'm going to carry on, and I'm just concerned, even though I have a direct flight, of like it being delayed or canceled. Because the amount of cancellation flights, the U.S. airlines have canceled more than 100,000 flights this year. 30,000 of them since Memorial Day. Yeah. Okay, so 100,000 flights, you've got probably 200 people on a flight, say 150 people. This is millions and millions of people's whose plans are just like, we're sorry. You don't care. You're hosed. And so here's the thing, though. If you are having to make connections, this information might help you out. This was a report put out that showed the flight cancellations, which airports were responsible for the most cancellations. So if you're connecting through, because sometimes you have options. Okay, you can connect through LaGuardia or you can connect through Houston. At this point where travel is so messed up, I would pick the airport that has less cancellations. Yeah. So here you go. Newark is one of the worst. Newark was the worst, followed by Newark's in New Jersey, followed by LaGuardia, which is a busy New York terminal. That's where I always fly in. Reagan International. Raleigh-Durham actually was up there in the top 5. Cleveland was another one that was the top 5. I was really surprised about that. It was different for delays, though. So those are the top 5 for cancellations. Delays were Chicago, Midway. Midway jacks up everything.
Midway's the worst.
It is, and like you're in Key West having a flight canceled, and they're like, well, there was snow in Midway. How does that affect me? But somehow it does. Orlando was number 2 on the list. Like, that's where I'm flying. And I've heard horror stories of people being stuck in security in Orlando for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, no, I can't have that. JFK, Newark again, and Baltimore. So I think the basic takeaway from this, if you heard nothing else, don't fly to Newark. Because they're the worst for cancellations and delays. So.
It's going to be hard enough as it is. Don't make it any harder on yourself.
I know. We're looking at some travel and stuff, and I hate to drive just because I'd rather fly, get there and enjoy the time and get home quickly. Driving just takes so long if you're driving 8 hours, 10 hours. And we were thinking about going to North Carolina and going to the Outer Banks, and I wanted to windsurf or something, and my wife looked up, it was a 12-hour drive. I'm like, but 12 hours, like that's where I would fly that because it's an hour and a half flight.
But there's a chance that it'll take longer than that and you won't get your...
Yeah.
That's it.
Because driving's totally in your control. Yeah. It's just that you don't want to be physically on the road for those 12 hours.
It's a long time.
Very understandable.
Yeah. And like when my wife and I travel, it's not a problem. Like she's easy to travel with, like car-wise and stuff, because she sleeps, she just like, so I just listen to podcasts and drive and try to stay awake, get a McDonald's Coke every 100 miles and just keep going, So anyway, well, that's it for me. What do you got, Rock?
Honey Boo Boo.
The Boo Boo.
Wally is a big fan of Honey Boo Boo.
You better rednecking us.
You know her from lines like these.
Hello? Anybody there? Honey Boo Boo waits on nobody.
Oh my goodness. She was on Toddlers and Tiaras, and she was the antithesis of Toddlers and Tiaras. Like all the other girls that did glitz pageants had a lot of money, or they were looked like little baby dolls. And then Honey Boo Boo comes out, and she's a kind of a chubby little kid and just this little redneck, and she was highly entertaining on the show. But what made her entertaining are the things that I can imagine would make her life challenging moving forward.
And I'm sure nobody will let her forget like her toddlers and tiara days.
No, that's just what.
But that's what everybody.
Her.
Yeah,
right.
but that's what everybody loved about her too.
Right.
Well, she's now 17 years old, and to celebrate her birthday, she is getting a procedure done. So when she was on Toddlers and Tiaras, she was definitely more on the chunkier, thicker side.
Yeah.
And that has traveled with her throughout her life. She is currently at 275 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot because I don't think she's that tall either.
No.
Her Mama June, was large, and Mama June had a procedure too to lose weight.
Well, she is getting what is the
gastric bypass?
Yeah, gastric bypass.
She's doing that too because that's what her mom did.
That's what she's getting done. She wants to drop 150 pounds, getting her down to 125 pounds.
That would be small.
But she's tiny though. Like she's not giant. So 125 pounds at her height is probably good.
But very drastic, like change, doing more than half of what you want to be.
I mean, she could probably be 135, 145 and be fine. Like for me, I'm 5'6" and I weigh 173. And I feel all right with that. I'd feel better at like 175, but I looked up a thing and I'd feel better at like 165, 168. But there was a thing that was like, oh yeah, for your height, you should be 155 pounds. Like, what? No.
I did see that. That for me would be going back to like my freshman year of high school, small. I don't ever want to be that small personally. Like that sounds tiny.
This says, because I just Googled it, I said, how tall is Honey Boo Boo?
Yeah.
It says she's 4'6".
Ooh, maybe when she was on Toddlers and Tiaras.
Yeah, that can't be right.
I think that's when her Toddlers and Tiaras days.
If you were that height, then you shouldn't. You should. Yeah, being lighter would make sense.
If you were 275 at 4'6", you would literally be look like a ball. So I don't think that's her height.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Elena. Her name is Elena
Thompson.
Yeah. Does it say height 4'6"?
No, that's impossible.
The Googles say it.
It's impossible.
That has to be
like
impossible.
she looks short.
Yeah,
but 4'6" is.
Mama June was tall. Like I'm kind of surprised, but
tall?
But Sugar Bear wasn't.
Mama June. All these names.
I love that we're just figuring stuff out. It's like this is what the Aftercast is. It does musing about
she
things.
Doesn't look
it says
tall.
Mama June is 5'4".
No, really? She carried herself bigger, like as a presence, a dominating force.
Now, what is the name of the dad?
Sugar Bear, I think it's
Dad's
name.
You think it's Sugar Bear?
Something like that. Whatever.
Okay, Sugar Bear. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh wait. Sugar Bear Thompson.
There it is. Thank you.
Oh, he is a...
He is. Yeah.
He looks like a Sugar Bear Thompson. Yeah. It says he's 5 feet.
Yeah, he was littler than her. So
it could be true.
Wow.
Yeah, 5'4" mom, 5 dad.
Yeah, that's really short.
Yeah, if she's 275 at 5'4", that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all.
4'6".
I mean, 4'6". Yeah. That is beyond... healthy. So yeah, she needs to get that regulated.
I find that hard to believe.
That is really short.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter's 5'2". Like she's so much shorter than Haley. My daughter's 5'2".
Yeah, foot shorter than us.
Yeah.
That's what it's. I mean, everything I'm checking, and that's what
crazy.
It says.
Yeah, I mean, she was one that I watched. I did watch a lot of Toddlers and Tears, and Betty Rock watches it too. You started watching it.
I started watching it, but I couldn't finish it.
Why?
It was too much.
Really?
It was just too much. I didn't like the moms. I didn't like.
That's the whole point.
The kids. I was just. No.
The entitled kids drove me crazy. Yeah. But then I saw a couple stories of girls that were on the show and then them now and stuff. And and it is sad. Like some of them just came out so messed up. And I think one girl took her life recently. Yeah. And I mean, obviously she had other things going on and stuff too. It's not like just being on Toddlers and Tiaras did that to her, but it not everybody came out of that show unscathed kind of thing. And Honey Boo Boo was one of those, like her family life's a train wreck.
Well, she's got somebody named Mama June and Sugar Bear
as a dad.
Yeah, you could have seen it coming in retrospect.
Not a lot of places you go.
Yeah.
I've always wondered on TV shows, like reality shows, I always think about the production of it and the people, the producers or the cameramen that are asking them questions and stuff. and they know what they've already asked somebody else, and they know all the backstory. This person is in a vacuum. They don't know everything, and they're just leading a question to get to the drama or whatever. And at some point in time, like you watch like a 90 Day Fiance, people that are being catfished. And as the producer, like you just keep it going because it's good for the show. But like there's some part of me that's like, be a human and be like, look, I got to tell you, you're getting catfished. Like this is bad, okay? Or like, look, this guy's not into you. He just said this over here. He does not like anything about you, like. But they can't, and they stay at a distance for the show's sake, but it damages them. And I think the same thing with like the all of these toddlers in tears and things like that. No one interjects and goes, "Hey, you're really treating your kid horribly here." Absolutely not. But they're like, "No, it's good for the show, so we just video it. We're just covering it."
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in time, there's got to be some humanity in there, man. Like if one of us was about to fall into a hole, you would think they'd put down a camera and catch them. But maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Do you want to move on to birthdays?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We've got, she put her name here and she put good luck, Betty.
Oh, great. I love it.
I think it's Hadassah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Hadasah?
ASSAH. Hadassah.
ASH.
I think she started.
HAD.
Yeah.
ASSAH.
Hadassah.
Hadassah.
Hadassah. I don't know.
Okay.
I liked
But
how
hey,
you said it.
Happy birthday to you.
No, it's not her birthday.
I'm curious if it
goodness.
was her birthday. Well, let me see how that works. Because the birthday songs, you seem like you can work anybody in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hadassah. Happy birthday. Yeah, it still works.
She said to my amazing younger sister, Abigail.
That's so much easier. What,
Yeah.
Now, where did your parents shift from Hadassah
I don't know.
to we're going with Abigail on this one?
Thematic issues there.
Maybe even Abby.
She said she's turning 13 today, loves to read, and has a special appreciation for the little things in life. Both her and I love skits like Bon Qui and Scott
Nice.
Sterling.
Nice.
Both are great. Both are great.
Bon Qui is married to Manuel from Group One Crew. Not everybody knows that.
And her name is Angela Johnson.
Yeah. She's still doing stand-up and stuff, too. I saw a couple things on her with TikTok and everything. And I haven't seen anything from Manuel in a while. Blanca, who was in that band, has a new album out, I think, too. So she's still doing music as well.
The question is, if you could time travel to the past or future and meet your younger or older self, what age would you choose to meet?
That is really good. I'd go back to younger self so that I could advise myself about different things and different girls that were going to break my heart. And be like, okay, just don't even way out of your league. And she's going to tell you that, and it's going to sting like a bad.
So don't ask.
So don't even ask. Just just don't outkick your coverage.
That'd be hard because if I wanted to go to my older self, I don't know what I would.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want to figure out?
Yeah, because a part of me wants to know, will I ever get married? But then if I don't,
Oh yeah, you don't want to see that maybe.
I don't want to know that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
If I go younger,
And it's not like you could go back younger with, like, say, with your dating history. It's not like you could go back younger and go, that was the one that got away. You should have done.
Yeah, no.
I don't think that's the case. Like, you should have done this to keep that guy or whatever. You know? Okay.
no. Everyone that's passed, I'm like, that's a good call.
Yeah. Catch and release.
I don't know, Gavin.
I think I would have done freshman year of high school, and I would have sat myself down and prepared myself for.
Could you have sat yourself down?
Yeah.
Did you have your little donut?
On your butt donut. What is wrong with you, Rob?
You laughed.
No.
I was uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable laugh.
I had a surgery the year before that. I wouldn't have had the donut freshman year of high school. It was 8th grade, junior year, senior year.
Oh, that's great. When junior high, when kids are their kindest.
It was unpleasant. But I would sit myself down and prepare myself for the butt surgeries. I don't know. The just like the 3 different high schools I went to, like it was very tough to do all 3 of those. Be a new kid 3 different times, make a bunch of different friends. It ended well because I met Haley senior year, and that wasn't even at school.
Did?
Yeah, that was at like church. A church that
I
a
never
friend
knew that.
Yeah, so I only knew Haley for like 8 months before we did the long distance thing.
Oh, okay.
So I would have sat myself down and I'd have been like, hey, Don't date girls in Texas because they'll break your heart.
Yep.
You'll meet the one in Louisiana.
Yep.
Yeah. Get a very subtle pillow for later. Something.
You're going to need this later.
You would have been better off getting like one of those things where it's like women put them in their pants. It makes their bottoms look bigger.
Get fluffy pants, basically.
Yeah, you could have done that.
I could have.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for our Aftercast today.
As always, thanks for being a potty.